Is the economy keeping you from your favorite sporting event? Have teams made it too expensive for you and your family to enjoy, or is your team actually helping you out? Can nothing come between you and your team even when money is tight? It's your call on all of this right now. It's a great time of the year for sports fans. Baseball season is underway. Basketball playoffs are looming. The fight for the Stanley Cup continues. And of course, football is a year-round topic of conversation. But is the economy keeping fans from filling the stands? We'll find out right now on It's Your Call. Hi there, everyone. It's great to have you with us. I'm Lynn Doyle. And as you know, I am a huge sports fan. So I've been wondering about the sports industry and whether it's feeling the pinch of the economy like everything else apparently is. Right off the top, I have some questions for you to ponder. Is the economy keeping you from attending games altogether? Or have you cut back perhaps the number of games that you're going to? Are you maybe even skipping sporting events altogether as a way to save money and watching them on TV instead? Or are you one of those die-hard fans where nothing, absolutely nothing, will keep you from supporting your favorite team? Well, if you want to tell me what you think about this or anything about our topic, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can email me directly. Here's my address, tcn_iyc@cable.comcast.com. I also want to remind you that we are on Facebook and that we often get a lot of our comments from there. In fact, I'm going to be sharing a few of the comments that I've gotten on this topic in just a few minutes. Another way that you can tell us what you think, you can log on to csnphilly.com and then put in It's Your Call or IYC under the search key. That'll take you to my webpage where you can leave me a comment. And while you're there, you can take our web poll. We're asking if you think the tough economy is keeping you from games, if it's limiting your attendance, or if it's had no effect whatsoever. It's a non-scientific survey, but another way that you can be interactive here. Right now, though, I do want to hear from our panel, and it is a good one. Let me introduce them to you. John Brazer is the Fun and Games Director for the Philadelphia Phillies. Dom Giordano is a talk show host with 1210 AM, The Big Talker. Burchette is Assistant Professor of Sports Management at Drexel University, and Ike Richman is Vice President of Comcast-Spectacor, the company which owns the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Guys, great to have everybody here. And I have to say, John, I honestly have never introduced anyone who has a title of Fun and Games Director.
Well, I gave the title to myself 16 years ago, and so I guess I got to thank myself for giving me that title. But you know what? When we're in sports, we're all involved in sports, and you know, if you can't have fun in your job, when you work in sports, we all have dream jobs. So I think everybody at this panel here is probably their own director of fun and games.
Well, I guess it would be proper to start with you, since you represent the world champion Philadelphia Phillies. Certainly they cannot be feeling the effects of the economy right now because everyone's on the Philly bandwagon, no matter where you live.
Well, we're certainly the anomaly in what's going on with the economic conditions going on right now. You know, we were very fortunate to have a World Series winning year last year, and or what's going on with the country. That being said, you know, I feel that we're fortunate because if you remember, we won in 1980, and 2 months later, or I should say that season, there was a strike. So we didn't get to take advantage of the fact that we won the World Series in 1980. In 1993, same thing, going in 94. A lot of people excited. Next thing you know, boom. That was my first year with the Phillies. So strike in August. So this is the first year, knock on wood. I don't think there will be a strike in baseball, knock on wood. But you know, again, is it bad to be going on at this time? No, we are extremely fortunate to be able to, you know, have the success.
Now, Dom, of course, when a team is a winner, like the Phillies are this year, and everyone's all excited about the upcoming season, it's great. What about teams elsewhere that are not winning? Are the fans going to feel the pinch of the economy and say, hey, you know what, I'm making a decision not to go to the games?
Yeah, I think so, and without a doubt that you're seeing that all over the place. Even some of the Philadelphia teams. I mean, I love the Sixers and I like what they do, and I think they have a great product, but I know they've had a little bit of difficulty. And the pro leagues, though, are anticipating this. What I see happening is the little guys getting hurt, the support staff. The WNBA is cutting from 13 women to 11. They're all anticipating. The NFL fired 150 people, even though they're a billion-dollar enterprise. So they're anticipating difficulty. They're trying to head it off of the pass.
Of course, that would be your responsibility then to maintain fan interest in the sports and to make it a little bit easier for them. How are you doing that?
Well, I think people look at sports as an escape to get away from what's happening in the real world. And I'd like to disagree with Don just a little bit because our attendance hasn't been hurt at all. In fact, our attendance is up for the 76ers and the Flyers where it was last year. I think what we're seeing is where families may have considered taking a vacation, they're changing it and maybe doing what we're calling staycations. And maybe they're taking out a Flyers game or a Sixers game or even a Phillies game and taking the family down for an event at the Wachovia Center or at Citizens Bank Park. Our sales are up at our food stands. Our sales are up at our restaurants. So we're not really seeing the effects of the economy because we're seeing people adapt in different ways.
Brett, do you think that perhaps sports will be the last industry to feel the impact of the recession?
Well, I think the sports fan is very loyal to their brand. They're very passionate, and so I can agree with that. That we will feel less of the burden of the economy compared to maybe other industries. It's a great tool, I think, from a sponsorship perspective, for brands to invest in professional or college sports.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that about fan loyalty because I'm sure no matter where you're watching, you have a team to which you are loyal. We want to know if the economy is going to keep you from supporting that team, or as many people told us when we talked to them on Facebook or out on the streets of the region, they said nothing, absolutely nothing. That would be the last thing they would do is cut off their support of the team. So that must at least be encouraging for people in the industry.
Well, people, not only do they look to sports to escape, but they like to be associated with a winner. And first off, let me congratulate John and the Phillies on breaking the curse of Philadelphia and winning a world championship. But they want to be around a winner. And it started this past fall. The Phillies won the world championship. And then the Eagles went far into the playoffs. And then Villanova went into the NCAA championships. And you look at a team like Pitt, they went very far into the tournament as well. People want to be around a winner, and that carries through to all sports. You're seeing it in the Flyers and the Sixers because they want to be around a winner.
Well, we're also seeing in Pittsburgh and in Baltimore, and you mentioned football, they had great seasons as well, and everyone just kind of got on that bandwagon. And the people I talked to in both of those cities said, hey, nothing's keeping me back from, supporting the team.
Well, John and I were at opening day, and I had to do a pregame show at 5 o'clock down at the ballpark at the restaurant, McFadden's there, Lynn. At 4 o'clock, if there is a recession going on, these people didn't know it. And the number of women that turned out that are associated with this, that really helps tremendously.
And we had, talk about merchandise, again, in the off-season, our merchandise is up 278% from last year. Now, obviously, win the World Series, you're going to sell more merchandise, but in this economy, people were not afraid to go out and buy the Phillies caps and Phillies jackets and Phillies sweatshirts. I mean, it's basically a sea of red right now because the Phillies are the hot topic right now.
Yeah, and of course, when Villanova, Brett, was making its run for the Final Four, I was trying to find a sweatshirt so I could jump on the bandwagon like everybody else, and they were in demand.
Well, Lynn, winning is your best marketing strategy. People are quicker to pick up the phone, make a decision, come out and support you if you have a winner. It's as Dom said, the communities that may have had struggles last year leading into the economic downturn that are going to struggle. I believe Detroit has lost nearly 50% of their baseball season ticket holders moving into this year. That's going to be tough to recover from.